Hello everybody, I think we're live now. So class starts in a few minutes. You have a little bit of time to grab some goodies and get yourself set up for the practice. Today you want a strap or a belt, something that's not too stretchy. You want maybe some folded blankets or pillows to sit up on, and or cushion body parts, maybe some folded blankets or pillows, whatever you have handy. We're going to be doing an active practice today, so some active stretching. If you have favorite poses or things you for sure want to do, take a minute, just drop it in the comment box down below. You have 1 or 2 minutes before I get started, and I won't be able to see the comments after that point. And just a reminder, if anybody that is practicing in your space with you has any questions, you can drop them for them in the comment box as well. Trying to think if there's anything else. I won't be playing music, so if you enjoy music with your practice, just make sure my voice is cranked up on your volume, and then you can play whatever music you want in your background, and we'll get started. Oh, and water. If you want water, have it handy. We may do a little bit of sweating today, so all that good stuff. We'll get ready to start in just a minute. Get our timer underway. Last look at comments. I see one of you has joined for sure. I think the rest of you are still getting signed in. I don't see any requests. That's totally fine. You just get what I give here. It'll be good. Don't worry. Alrighty. Almost there. Alright, so it's time to get started. I'm going to ask that you get yourself really, really cozy on your yoga mat. And so what we're looking for cozy is any comfortable position that you think you can hang out in without any muscular effort for about 5 minutes. So I usually recommend laying on your back with your knees bent and your feet flat, or you can lay on your side or your belly. If you choose to lay on your back and you find that because of just hips and the way your body is shaped that really pressures your low back, bent knees is awesome. Or you can put a couple of pillows, or if you happen to have a yoga bolster, you can put something underneath the backs of your knees. So that's what I'm going to do. That's what I really, really enjoy. And we're going to spend some time just focusing on the breath. About halfway through this opening sort of relaxation that we're going to do together, I'm going to come to sitting. So if your eyes are open and you notice me sitting up, just stay where you are and stay comfortable. I will definitely cue you when it's time to come all the way up. But for now, let's get cozy. This is exactly the same as what we do at the end of the class. We call it Shavasana. It's just a rest. And I notice on my body it's quite pinchy in my low back usually, so I'm going to scoot my tailbone under as well as lay the backs of my knees across this bolster. I really like to encourage all of my students to give themselves some permission to take up space both on and off your yoga mat. And if you've got somebody practicing with you that's super close, just sort of guide your hand around there so that you're not stacking on top of each other, but do take up a little bit of room on your floor. Remember, you don't have to lie down. If lying down is a distraction, you can always sit up instead. Let's all close our eyes and tune into our breath. And so without any judging at all, let's just notice the pace of our breath. Let's notice the texture or the rhythm or the lack of rhythm. And try not to force yourself into a type of breathing just yet. I find that sometimes I jump to a deep breath, and you don't need to. It's useful to watch the way that you're breathing and allow that to happen for a moment or two. If it's comfortable in whatever position you're lying in or sitting in, to put one or both hands on your belly. And I like to place my hands at the sides of my belly so that my elbows can be heavy. But take some time just noticing the movement of your belly as you breathe. And so our regular sort of breath that we have throughout the day tends to be a little shallow and less movement in the belly. It's interesting to notice that. And when you're ready, start to deepen that breath so that you can feel more movement in your belly. For the next several long moments, just notice how with every inhalation, the whole front of your body just expands outward. And with every exhalation, the whole body sort of draws in towards center, in towards your spine. Maybe it gets a little heavier, your body into the floor. Inhales, expand. And exhales, soften, drawing in towards center. And so stay with a comfortable breath, really watching the expansion and the softening and drawing in that links to each part of your breath. Stay comfortable and stay very still. We'll be here for several more long, deep breaths. Last moment here, big breath. And exhale. And still keeping your eyes softly closed or your gaze soft, just begin to invite some movement into your body. So if you're lying down, you could maybe gently turn your chin over each shoulder, awake your neck. You might wiggle your fingers, roll your wrists, wiggle your toes, roll your ankles. Maybe you take arms overhead, take your legs long and have a nice big stretch. Maybe you hug your knees in towards your body and rock side to side on your back. Or maybe you bring just one knee in at a time. Some people like to plant their feet and just take their knees side to side like windshield wipers. So whatever you like, do that just to wake up your body. When you feel like you've worked some of that stiffness out, then very gently roll all the way to one side and then press your way up into a comfortable sitting position. So you'll notice that I'm sitting cross-legged. I came up a little bit before you. So as you find your way up, give yourself permission to take any shape with your legs that is comfortable and lets you sit up tall. If you're tight in your hips or your hamstrings, then grab some pillows or a couple folded blankets or a bolster to sit up on, whatever you have handy. Something to elevate your hips a little. And then whatever shape you take with your legs will be much more comfortable. You'll find that you have a little more space in the backs of the legs, a little more space in the hips. So finding our way up now, stack your shoulders more or less right over your hips. So we tend to spend a lot of time with the shoulders forward of the hips. The ideal position really is shoulders over hips or maybe even slightly behind. And then just take a moment, settle your shoulders, let your elbows get heavy. Head is right on top of your shoulders. Take a nice big breath in. And as you exhale, just bring your chin down to the center of your chest. With your next inhale, sweep your left ear over your left shoulder, or your right ear over your right shoulder. Doesn't matter which side you start with. With your next exhale, roll down to center. And then inhale to the other side. And exhale to center. Moving with your breath. Inhale over your right side. That's the side you started on. Exhale to center. Inhale, other side. And take the head back with every lift. Exhale to center. Inhale, head draws back a little. And exhale to center. Last inhale over that opposite shoulder. And then exhale, draw your chin down into the center of your chest. Roll your shoulders up to your ears, back and down, and then lift your chin and turn your hands palms up. So you can rest them on your thighs. You can rest them on the floor next to you. My arms are not that long because I'm sitting up. Wherever you like, just take a moment, and I'd like you to bring all of your attention to the front of the chest, right here in the center, right in front of your heart. And imagine that this spot here, you could actually just gently open. And sometimes we assist that a little bit, just drawing the shoulders back, softening them down. Maybe a little bit of engagement between your shoulder blades, so a little bit of awareness to opening the front of the body. Yeah, I'm going to keep that. We're going to bring the hands right beside the hips and just open up the sides of the body really quick. So with your next inhale, float your right arm up. And as you exhale, come into your left hand a little bit. Could be on fingertips, could be all the way on the palm. And then lift the right side ribs up. Take a big breath into the right side ribs. Such a gentle way to open the side body. And with your next inhale, come all the way up. Exhale the right arm down. Inhale, left arm up. And exhale, come over. Take a big breath into the left side ribs. And exhale. Inhale, float up to center. And exhale, float it down. Nice. Float both arms up. Big inhale. Interlace your fingers. Exhale. Just bring the hands to the top of your head and relax your shoulders down. Let them hang heavy. So now the goal is to keep the shoulders relaxed and heavy without pulling them down, but without allowing them to creep up. So just keep them relaxed. And then turn your palms to face the ceiling. And it might be a little bit too much rotation for the wrist. Your hands might point more forward. Some of your hands will point more up. Doesn't matter. And then keeping the shoulders relaxed. Big breath in. As you exhale, take the arms up, keeping the elbows wide. And you might only go a little bit, and you'll feel like, oh, quite a stretch. Find the place where you feel a good stretch with the shoulders open and spacious. Take another big breath in. Exhale out. One more inhale. And as you exhale, bring the backs of the hands to your head. Slowly release the fingers and very slowly bring your arms down. And you should feel a little warmth, maybe a little tingle. Just notice. When the hands are down, roll your shoulders up to your ears, back and softly down, and just shake out your legs. So I'm going to show you a seated variation on cat-cow, which is a bit of opening for the front of the body and the back of the body. So I'm going to show you the seated version, and then I'm going to switch to hands and knees and talk through the hands and knees version. If you like the seated version, just keep doing that. If you want to move to hands and knees when I do, then do that. And then we'll meet in hands and knees in a little bit. But for now, start in seated, hands to the front of your knees. Whatever position your legs are in, front of the knees, front of the shins, wherever you can get a hold. Take a big inhale, stick your butt out beneath you a little bit, bring your chest forward, and just lift the back of your head back a little. As you exhale, curl back, lift your knees, pull your chin towards your chest, and stretch between your shoulder blades. And then inhale, open up. And exhale, curl back. A few more of these. Inhale, open up. Exhale, curl back. Two more. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And finish on an exhale, curl back, and just keep with this rhythm if you want to stay in seated. Otherwise, move to hands and knees, and if you'd like to put something soft under your knees, please do. So hands and knees, lots of space between knees and wrists. Spread out the fingers. And with your next inhale, tip the tailbone up, drop your belly, take your chest forward, lift the back of your head. Exhale, curl the tailbone, belly to spine, chin to chest, upper back to sky. Inhale, And exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. One more. Inhale. And exhale. So if you're still seated, come to hands and knees and join us. If you're in hands and knees, you may want to just take a moment and shake out each wrist. Sometimes the wrists get a little bit tender, so shake them out a little bit. For this next shape, unless your knees are real kind of tough, you're probably going to want something soft underneath your knees. We're going to actually start with something under both knees for a moment. And I'm going to show you a trick for your wrists as well. So we're going to be moving into some side opening. But first, get that out of the way. For the wrists, you can roll up the front edge of your mat. Mine's pretty thick and dense. But you can roll up the front edge of your mat a little bit. Place the heels of your hands right at the very front edge, and it'll tip your hand forward a bit. Really nice on the wrist. So if your wrists are sore, that's a great little hack. If your wrists are feeling fine, right on the mat is okay. Knees are comfy. Hug your low belly in to support your back a little. Shift your weight now into your left hand. And with your next inhale, we're going to open up the right arm and keep your gaze on your thumb. Big inhale. And exhale, lower it down. And twice more. Inhale. And exhale. One more. Inhale. And exhale. Switching sides. Weight into the right hand. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Oh, my back cracked. Exhale. So good. Inhale. And exhale. Give yourself a little break off your wrists. Maybe just shake them out a bit. So the next part of this involves a twist. So I'm going to switch so you can see this from the front because it'll make a little more sense. You're going to stay on your mat exactly as you are. Just make sure you get a chance to see it. So I'm going to show you once, and then we're going to do it together, one to each side. So we're going to be opening the right arm first. I'll show you on my body what it's going to look like. We're going to move into a twist. So it's going to start out the same way. Inhale, right arm will go up. You can do it with me in a second. Exhale, we're going to come down to elbow, right where the hand was, and look to our left. If you want more, you'll take the elbow behind the hand. Even more, maybe down to the back of the arm or the shoulder. Keep the head lifted just a little. Okay? That's what it's going to look like. So we're going to do it together. I'm going to face the side now. Right arm first. When you're ready, big inhale. Float your right arm up. When you exhale, bring your right elbow where your right hand was. Look up and over to the left. Keep breathing, and if you decide you want more, elbow behind the left hand, keep looking. Or deeper if you like. One last breath. We're going to come out on an inhale. So when you're ready, press into your left hand. Inhale, open up. Follow your thumb with your gaze. Exhale, right hand down. Good. Shake out your wrists if they want it or need it. Second side. So inhale, open your left arm up. Exhale, left elbow is going to go right where the left hand was. Look up and to your right. If you want more, left elbow behind the right hand. Still more, back of the arm down, deeper variation. Notice your breath, whatever you've chosen. One more big breath. Plant your right hand or fingertips. Inhale to open up. Take that hand all the way up. And then exhale, hand down. Let's join for a little child's pose. So knees wide, toes towards each other. Hips towards your heels. Melt yourself down to your elbows. Or even further down, chest and forehead if you like. Elbows might look like this. Or like that. Or maybe you stack your forearms. Find a version of this pose that you enjoy for a few breaths, and if none of them feel good, then skip it and do something different. Last breath. And when you're ready, come back to hands and knees. You're going to want to cushion your knees again. We're going to move into a little bit of a lunge. So to get into the shape, we're going to walk the hands over to the left, really far over, like off your mat. Swing your right leg around. Place the right foot in the front of your mat on the right-hand side. And then we're going to square our hips to the front. So the right hip draws back. And start to bend into the right knee. It doesn't have to be a lot, it could be a little. You can have one arm on the outside. This feels funny in my body, so I'm going to bring one hand on the inside. Either is good. Knees pointing straight forward, and we're stretching the back left thigh, back left, front of the back left hip. Find your breath. We want to lengthen the back of the neck just a little by drawing the chin in, pressing the back of the head back. 2 more breaths. Last breath. To come out, same way we came in. So walk your hands to the left, maybe straighten your leg a little. Wiggle that foot off of your mat any way you can do it. Swing that leg around behind you. Switch sides by walking your hands over to the right. See how far over I went? Swing the left leg around. You start to work your way to face the short edge of your mat again, and as you do, draw the left hip back. Foot might need to come back a little or forward a little, and then bend into that knee. So we're stretching through here mostly. Left arm can be on the outside of the leg or the inside. I do a lot of fingertips. You don't have to do that. You could do fists. If you have short arms like I do, you could do palms. Couple slow, deep breaths. Back of the neck long. Last breath. Straighten the front leg a little as you walk your hands over to the right. Swing that leg back around. Find your strap. Maybe take a sip of water. Find your strap. Make sure it's going to be within reach because we're going to lay down on our belly. So come all the way down. So automatically what I like to do here is lift each leg and drag it back a little. So lift the leg, drag it back. Lift the leg, drag it back. I'm flattening out this little hollow at the front of the hips. So we're going to do some gentle back bending. First things first, press down all 10 toes right into the floor or the mat. And so when I say that, I'm sort of engaging each toenail and dragging it towards me just a little bit so my feet are active. Yes. And maybe the knee lifts away on each side from the floor just a little tiny bit. But I'm hypermobile in my knees, so I don't worry about that so much. Okay? We're going to bring one hand under each shoulder. When we do that, our elbows go wide, draw them into the body. Second fingers point forward, back of the neck long. With your next inhale, press your pelvis down. Drag your heart forward and pull your shoulders back as you press lightly into your hands and come up. This is Cobra pose. Couple breaths. You should feel some action in the low back, mid back. And then slowly come down, stack one palm on top of the other hand. Rest your forehead. Relax your feet. Wiggle your hips a little side to side. So we're going to come back to Cobra pose. Engage the toes. Bring your hands right under the shoulders, elbows back. So same thing we did before, only we're going to be more deliberate about using the back body. So shoulders back, pelvis down. And now, just for play, just to experiment, lift your hands up off the mat, just the tiniest bit. And inhale, lift up Doesn't have to be a lot. Keep breathing. One big breath. And exhale, come down. Shake it out. That second one sort of teaches you how to engage the back muscles in that pose. Now I'm going to show you the way that we sort of think of Cobra pose most often. We're going to use more upper body and way less of the back body and just see what we think. So hands beside. There's no right answer. I think that both of these feel good, but they feel good in different ways. So we're going to still set the alignment. Toes in, shoulders back. This time use your arm strength as much as you want, as long as your back is comfortable. Inhale, draw the chest forward, keep breathing, and start to press your way up. It might feel awesome. I like to rock a little side to side in this one. Your back may not enjoy this, and you may be much lower to the ground, so don't hold it too long. Try to avoid lifting your chin. So instead, chin down, back and head back. Lovely belly stretch sometimes. One big breath here. And exhale, bring yourself down. Stack one hand on top of the other. Wiggle and shake it out. Nice. Tuck your toes. Bring your hands under your shoulders. This time, just for fun, we're going to experiment with the idea of coming up with a strong core. So hug your belly in. Try to keep your back straight. Doesn't matter if it stays straight, but try to keep it straight. Press up to hands and knees. Oh, nice. It's almost like a reverse plank. It's good stuff. So once you're back to hands and knees, couple cat-cow, just to sort of set the spine back into neutral. So inhale, belly stretch, and exhale, back stretch. Another one of those. Inhale, belly stretch, and exhale, back stretch. Perfect. Now, any way you want to get there, come up to standing. I know I mentioned the strap, and we haven't got there yet, but any way you want to come to standing, do that. Shake it out a little. Perfect. Come up towards the short edge of your mat. Make sure you've got some arm room. So if you've got a buddy or 3 buddies with you, make sure you're spread out. Line up the outer edges of your feet with each other. Roll your shoulders up, back, and down, and turn your palms forward. And when you do that, let the arms come away from the body unless they're really comfortable being close. So we want to think about, again, tuning into that subtle opening through the front of the chest, maybe a little through the middle torso, a little bit even through the belly, so some space in the front of the body. We want to draw the low belly in, and then as soon as you do that, let about 80% of that go. Because when I say draw the belly in, most of us draw it in, and I want you to draw it in like 10%, really subtle. Perfect. With your next inhale, float your arms up. Let the palms touch, even if the elbows bend. And then exhale, bend your knees, take the arms wide, hands to knees. Or maybe your hands come to the floor, tip the tailbone up. Belly stays in contact with the thighs. Legs can be wider if you like. I like to rock a little here and settle in, and then let the weight of your head hang. Hands can stay on the floor, or if you've got books or a bolster in front of you, or you can place the hands on the thighs. And with your next inhale, shoulders back, chest forward, back of the head presses back. And then exhale, fold again. Let the head go. Shake the head no or nod it yes if you have to let it go. So we're going to open up and soften again twice. Inhale, open the heart, back of the head lifts. Exhale, fold. One more time. Inhale, halfway, heart forward. Exhale, fold. Bend your knees, open your arms, your heart lifts, and come all the way up. Palms touch at the top. Exhale, bring those palms right through the center of your gaze until your thumbs rest lightly against your heart. Soft shoulders. Notice your breath. Your eyes are closed. Softly open them up. Release your hands. With your next inhale, float your arms up, and this time lift your heart. Take the arms back a little, and then bend your knees. Exhale, pour yourself forward. Inhale, come up halfway, heart forward. And exhale to fold. Bend your knees, take your arms wide, press into your feet. Again, take the arms back a little, touch the palms. And then bring the hands right down to the center of your gaze. Thumbs against your heart. Inhale here. Exhale, release your hands. One more time, inhale, arms up, lift the heart, little back bend. Exhale, bend your knees, dive down. Inhale, halfway lift, heart forward. And exhale, fold. Bend your knees, inhale, open up, little back bend at the top. And exhale, hands to heart. Nice, big inhale here. Exhale, release your hands. And shake it out a little bit. Nice work. So now we're going to grab our strap or our belt. Piece of soft, long strip of soft cloth would work too. We're not going to use it for a lot of length just yet. I like to drape it around the back of my neck so it's handy. And I'm going to face this direction this time. So plant your feet. Face the short edge of your mat. Hands to your hips or just beside you. Take a big inhale, lift your heart. Exhale, sink your weight into your left leg. Knees soft. And then we're going to try for a slow motion step back with the right leg. This is just a little play with balance. So get light on your right foot. Play or experiment with the idea of slow motion, bringing that leg up, tipping your body forward and slowly, slowly, slowly taking it behind you in a big-ish step. And if you get there quick, it's all good. Doesn't matter. Yeah. So now we want to be on railroad tracks. So make sure the feet are apart a little bit, side to side. Back foot's going to turn out about 45 degrees. Swivel the hips forward. And feel like you're stable. If you feel too tippy, legs a little wider apart, laterally on your mat. Okay? If you feel like your legs are too far apart, forward and back, step it in just a bit. So we're going to keep the legs strong and stable. Yeah. So again, we're going to bring our attention to the center of our heart. Lift the heart, draw the shoulders back, elbows back. So just to begin with, all I'd like you to do is turn your fingers down on either side of your hips, and then start to walk your hands behind you a little. So they're on the upper part of your bum or the lower part of your back. And with the fingers pointing down, and the hands can be a little bit wide on the back. Squeeze elbows back. And as you squeeze elbows back, lift your heart. And if lifting your heart takes your head back a little, that's okay. Try to keep the back of the neck long. So we don't want to look straight up. We want to keep the back of the head pressing back. Couple deep breaths right here. Opening the front of the chest and the shoulders, squeezing elbows towards each other, thinking about the breath. And then when you're ready, you're going to slowly walk your hands to the sides of your hips to soften some of that effort. And then take your strap or your belt or your piece of cloth, bring it behind your back, just about where your hands were, and you're going to hold it, just like two soft fists, back, as far apart as you want. No further than your hips, no wider than your hips, right? So it can be as wide as your hips, that's fine. So hands are up high, right in the crook of the low back, elbows are wide. So the first things first, hold the strap. Try to pull the strap apart with your hands as you draw your elbows back. And it gives you a little bit of leverage to do that a little bit more. Mindful that you don't overdo it. If that feels good, start to straighten the arms a little. So we're just sitting up or standing up straight for this. And then when it starts to feel nice, if you want to lift the center of your heart, wrap your outer arms back, and maybe come into a little back bend here, you can. Keep the breath flowing. 2 more breaths. Nice. And then as you exhale, come more upright and bend your elbows. Bring your hands up. Relax the strap. Shake it out in the shoulders a bit. Bring the strap back around your neck. Step forward. Whoa. That was a lot in one position on the legs, so shake it up quite a bit. Perfect. Come back up to the front of your mat. We want to do all that wonderfulness on the second side. So now that you've done it on the first side, we want to do it again. We want to first find that playful balance that we were just toying with. So big inhale, lengthen up. Exhale, sink your weight into your right leg. Get really light on the left toes. And just play with the idea. It doesn't matter if you succeed. It doesn't matter what it looks like. Just play with the idea of lifting the left knee, tipping forward nice and slow, and bringing that foot slowly behind you in a nice big step. And when you step back, you're probably going to want to adjust. Take the left foot a little wider, maybe step it in just a little bit closer so you feel stable. Back foot turns out a bit. Hips square to the front. Yep, a little bit of low belly in. Remember when you do that to like let most of that go again. It's subtle. It's just a soft drawing in of the belly. About 10%. Perfect. So we're going to do the arm thing again. So first, hands, fingers down on the sides of the hips. And then slowly start to walk the hands back. Lift the heart. Squeeze the elbows. Find where the hands can go comfortably and still explore opening the chest, opening the front of the shoulders. If it becomes available, a little more lift in the front of the heart, more back of the head back. If you start to feel unbalanced, then step it in a little bit or take your feet a little wider. Notice what it feels like. Legs are working to stabilize us. Belly is supporting our core. Elbows and arms are working to open the front of the body. So nice. Last moment here. And then slowly walk your hands back to the sides. Shake that out a little and grab your strap, your cloth, your belt. Same exact thing behind you. So bring it behind you. Hands a little distance apart, whatever feels appropriate. Keep the strap up high. Elbows are soft. First, you just want to engage muscles. So hold the strap, try to pull the strap apart with your hands without sliding your hands apart. And pull your elbows back by engaging between your shoulder blades. Yes, wrap your outer arms back. And as it starts to allow, your body will tell you if it's appropriate. Start to take your arms a little longer. And throughout this whole practice, we're paying attention. What is my body saying? Do I need to do a little less? Does this feel so good that I want to go a little deeper? Honor what your body's telling you. Lift the center of your heart if it's available and dive the arms a little lower, but keep the back of your neck long. Notice the heat in your body. Notice your breath. 2 more breaths. This pose, by the way, is called Stargazer. Isn't that such a lovely name? When you're ready, bring your hands up. Straighten up. Release the strap softly. You can just set it down for now. Shake it out a little and step up, and then shake it out some more. Whew, so good. Maybe have a sip of water because we're generating a lot of internal heat. And I don't know about you, but it's screaming hot today. Let's do something a little bit different with the body. So take your legs nice and wide. Heels wide as well. In fact, the heels go so wide they almost feel like they're wider than the toes. They're not. Line up the outer edges of your feet, but it feels almost that way. Perfect. If you're too wide, step it in a bit. If you want wider, step it out a bit. Hands to your hips. And in case you haven't noticed, there's a bit of a theme today in opening the front of the chest, opening the front of the body. So we're going to keep that in this pose, but we'll play with the legs as well. So when you're ready, take a big inhale. As you exhale, bend your knees and send your butt behind you. Hands to thighs, the fronts or the sides, whatever feels better. Keep them above the knees. Lots of bend in the knees, lots more butt behind you. And if it feels good, you can take your hands to the outer calves. Start to lift your tailbone. You can take your hands in front. And then really lengthen the top of your head forward. And if it feels good, you can even come even deeper, but keep lengthening the spine. Okay, we're going to play with something a little bit tricky and a little bit playful. So let go of doing it right, and we're just going to play. If your hands are not on the floor, stay up on your thighs and just breathe. Come up all the way to standing if you're ready. If your hands are on the floor, though, start to walk your hands over to the left leg. And as you do, start to rotate the left toes to face the short edge of your mat. One hand on either side of the foot. Turn the back foot. Lift the back heel, bend the knee of the front leg. And maybe, we play with balance and climb up. Oh my God, so much work, but it's so awesome. If you manage to get all the way here, because it's hard, maybe you take both arms or one arm up. So this is just play. We don't care which of these things you do or if you do any of them. And then you come forward and you start to walk your hands back to center. And you put your feet back where they were. Maybe it takes a little fiddling. And then melt in the center. We're going to play with the second side. Now, if you're skipping all of this, you could come to standing in the center of your mat. You could just do a little bit of breath work. You could even come to a seat. But if you want to play or just see what it feels like, rotate the right foot. Come up on the back heel. Bend into your front knee. I happen to have a wall here, so I'm going to even play with that. If you have a wall or furniture in front of you can play with, maybe we come all the way into balance. And you can stop at any point in this journey. If you're like, holy cow, lady, this is super intense. You pick your spot, right? Last moment, wherever you're playing. Nice. Work your way back to center, toes forward. Melt your heart. Now, just heel toe your feet together, more underneath your hips. Step them in a little closer. Melt your heart. And with your next inhale, bend your knees, open your arms, come all the way up. Palms touch, step it in. Hands to your heart. Holy moly, that was some intensity. Should feel really warm. Muscles should be nice and gooey. Let's do a little bit more stretch in the shoulders, and then the rest is all mat work. So we'll come down to the floor in a moment. For this, stand comfortably. So feet under your hips, feet a little closer. It can be under bony hips. It can be under fleshy hips. Mostly you want to feel stable. It's so hot here. Roll your shoulders up to your ears, back and down. Raise your arms to about shoulder height and soften the tops of your shoulders. Yes. Take your right arm over as you take your left arm under. Reach for the backs of your shoulders. Hold on tight. Or if that's too much of a reach, remember to raise your elbows above your boob line there. If that's too much reach, back it off and hold opposite elbows. Yeah. So here or here. If you're on the backs of the shoulders and it's not feeling like much yet, you could also interlace your hands, your arms, okay? Find your spot. With your next inhale, raise your elbows up. As you exhale, bring them to shoulder height. Twice more. Inhale. And exhale. Last time. Inhale. And as you exhale, unwind your arms and press your hands apart like there's two opposite walls. Yes. And then we're going to do the same thing on the second side. You need a drink? I need a drink. You need a drink? Get a drink. Second side. Arms up. Perfect. Second side, left arm up. Right arm under, and I'm kind of wiggling my upper arm over my boob here. Sorry for not a better way to express it, but there it is. And then we're going to reach for opposite shoulders or elbows. Same thing we did on the first side. Inhale, lift them up. Exhale, shoulder height. And twice more. Inhale. And exhale. And last time, inhale. And as you exhale, lower them down. Slowly unwind them. And press. Drop your arms, shake it out a little, and let's come down to the mat. So as you find your way down, we are going to be coming, onto our bellies for one last stretch. For this one, it's going to take a little bit of letting yourself be awkward. But you're going to come down to your belly, and you're going to want your strap handy. So we've got three more active poses, and then we're going to be blissing out, and you'll forget all the hard work. It'll be all awesome. So for this first one, what I want you to do is you're going to loop part of your strap around your right foot. So my strap has a built-in loop, which makes it a little bit less awkward, but really it's still pretty awkward. What we want to do if you've just got a long belt or strap, and this is really better most of the time anyways, to be honest, is just fold it roughly in half and take the halfway point around your right foot. Doesn't have to be perfect, you just want it kind of caught. And you want to keep a little tension on the strap as you make your way to your belly, otherwise your foot's going to fall out of the strap and you're going to be super irritated. You're like, what happened? So keep it looped. And any way you need to get there with a little tension on the strap, make your way down to your belly. And when you get there, you're going to be on one elbow. So since you're holding the strap with your right hand, left elbow's down and underneath you. Got it? Cool. Left foot's down, toenails in a little. And then you're going to bend your right leg, and you've got that foot sort of lassoed. Sometimes you might want to shimmy it up a little higher than the ankle. And then I'm just going to take that strap over my right shoulder. You didn't know you were going to be doing all this crazy stuff, right? And I'm going to hold the strap with my left hand. So my left elbow's down, my left hand is holding the strap. Okay? Now I'm going to reach around with my right hand. So my thumb points down, reach for the strap. Both sides ideally. If you happen to be able to reach the top of the foot, you can hold the top of the foot. Otherwise, you're reaching for anywhere along the strap that you can comfortably reach, thumb points down. Yes. Now you can let go with your left hand. Left forearm is down. And you want to kick your ankle, your foot, into the strap as you pull the strap back. And just lift your knee away from the floor a little bit. And maybe press into your left elbow, lift your chest. Yes. And then you want to come out of this without like falling, tangling. So any way you want to get out, it doesn't matter. And then come down, stack your hands. Rest your forehead. Rest for a few breaths, wiggle your hips. And now comes the awkward part where we have to lasso our left leg. So you'll probably find that you sit all the way up to get your foot caught. So that's what I'm going to do. It's what I do a lot of the times in my personal practice. Left side I find even harder than the right side. But middle of the strap or so, get it around your left leg. Try to keep some tension so it doesn't fall or slip. And I'm going to take it just around the outer part of the leg like that. So I've still got my knees available. And I'm going to try not to lose it as I wiggle my way to my belly. So all that stuff you see on TV with all this like crazy, like graceful yoga and stuff, not my practice, can you tell? So on your right elbow, take that strap over your left shoulder, hold it with your right hand, and then you're going to find out where you're going to comfortably reach the strap. Mine is on my foot or behind my foot. Yours might be like here. Same pose. Doesn't matter. Once you've got a hold of it with your left hand, thumb is pointing towards the floor. Then release the strap with your right hand, and right arm is just there to support your upper body and maybe give you something to press into as you lift and kick the foot into the strap, strap into the foot, lift up the upper body, open it up. This is half bow pose. For those of you who are curious, half bow pose. We're going to do full bow pose next. You're going to love it. Last moment. Keep the strap on the foot and keep some tension. Maybe let the foot come down if your strap's long enough, and just rest for a second on your other arm. Don't die on me yet. It's all good. Couple more breaths. We're going to have to get a little crafty. So bend your leg and slip your other foot into the strap. So both feet are in the strap. Just like that. And take them over your shoulder. If your strap's not long enough, then you may not be able to take them over your shoulder. You may instead have to just get your feet into the strap, reach back, thumb down one side, and then reach back, thumb down other side. Keep the chin tucked in. And when you're ready, you guys, we're going to do the craziness. This is full bow pose. You're going to kick your feet into the strap, lift your knees up, and as you kick your feet into the strap, you're going to let that pull your arms back. And then engage between your shoulder blades. And imagine you can lift your feet up as you lift your arms up. Yes, it's literally like you're a bow. That's why they call it bow pose, yo. Last big breath. And then come down. Oh, set the strap aside. Get it out of there. Take a rest. You don't want to be on your belly to rest. Roll to your back or your side. If your low back is feeling the pressure from these last poses, maybe you don't want to be on your back or your belly. Maybe you want to do a little child's pose, knees wide, belly in between the thighs. Maybe this is what you need. You decide. We're here for 4 more breaths. And when you're ready, doesn't have to be yet, start to find your way up. And as you find your way up, please find something to put underneath your knees for cushion. If you've got a really squishy mat and you have carpet underneath like I do, you might not need much. If your knees are sensitive, you might need more. Softness under your knees is what I want because we're going to be moving into this type of a shape. Kneeling. Kneeling can be intense on the knees. If kneeling isn't right for you today, then the pose we just did, this is just a different version of. So you could do the lasso your feet, bow again. You could go, done, and come back to your back and wait for us there where we're going to meet for Shavasana shortly, okay? And some other lying down poses. This is our last not lying on our back pose of the night. So, knees are comfortable, bring your hands to your hips. And we're revisiting some shapes we've already done, so your body is prepared. A lot of this should be familiar. Feet can be flat or toes tucked, whatever feels more stable and nicer on your knees. I'm going to choose toes tucked. We're going to turn the hands, fingers down at the sides of the body. Starting to be familiar, right? Bring the hands behind a little bit. Squeeze your shoulder blades together. Point your elbows behind you. Yes, just like that. Lift your chest. A little bit at the center of the heart. So this point right here. Lift from there. And as you lift from there, maybe you walk your hands down. And yeah, you might be grabbing your butt, and it's all good. It's fine. Just lift your heart. Elbows back. And maybe your hands go a little bit lower. Now you're really grabbing your butt. But it's okay, because we're enjoying this really luscious back bend. Nice. If your back body feels okay, and you're not pinching anything, it's not too intense, you could maybe walk your fingers or your hands back to your heels. Press your hips forward, but keep the back of your neck long. It's tempting to just let the head fall. Chin in towards chest. Wherever you are in this shape, this one is called camel. Wherever you are in this shape, it's all good. It's an intense shape. You might be here. You might be here. It's all the same pose. Now, wherever you are in this pose, make sure you're not at your absolute limit. Not at your absolute limit. And with your next breath, lift one arm up and behind you, right alongside your ear. It'll feel so amazing. And then bring that hand back where it was, on your bum, on your heel. And then the other arm, inhale, and stretch it back. And bring it back. And if you're like, holy cow, what have I done to me today? We did a lot of fun, exciting, but intense stuff. And you're learning to choose your level. Come out of this pose. Take a moment just to let your blood pressure sort of equalize, to notice your breath, to sort of notice the effects of all of this stuff on your body. Whether you're sitting or kneeling or you're already on your back, we're all doing the same practice. It's just choosing our own adventure every step of the way. When you're ready, please come all the way to your back. I think we're still good. Yeah, we're still good. We had a little hiccup. We're going to come back to our backs now. So find your way down to your back. I've taken my hair clip out. All we're going to do next is a little twist to each side of our mat. So come down to your back when you're ready. Whenever you've done a lot of back bending or a lot of forward bending, it's really nice to come into a twist because it sort of neutralizes your spine back into its normal place, so it's not in a big back bend. It's not feeling pulled forward. So we're going to take some long twists. So we've done this before for those of you who've been in the class with me, but just lift your hips, pick them up, scooch them generously to one side, walk your feet with you. Walk your feet over with you. And then lift one knee and then the other up. Roll onto your outer right hip and bring the legs down. If the floor is too far away, tuck a blanket or a pillow underneath those outer knees. Your arms can just be out by your hips. Palms can be up or down. Arms might be wide like a T. That seems to be a lot of people's favorite. Maybe your arms are in like cactus shapes. Two little L's at either side. The hardest part of the spine to really get a good twist is the middle of the back. So if you're in a twist, you don't have to mess with where your head is unless you really, really want to. But if it's really comfortable for your neck and you like how it feels, then when your knees are to the right, you could just take your gaze to the left. I don't really like how that feels. It feels a little smushy in my body, so I keep my head right up towards the ceiling. But you choose what feels right for you. We're going to settle in for about 5 more deep breaths. And so at the end of your 5th exhale, just start to draw your low belly in towards your spine a little bit, and then bring your knees in, maybe one at a time, and roll back to your back. Put your feet down, and you'll find that you're crooked on your mat. It's exactly what we expect. Walk your feet back to the center. Lift your hips back to center. And from center now, we're going to move to the other side. So lift your hips. Scooch them to the right. Pretty generous. Bring your feet with you. And then when you're ready, lift one knee and then the other, or both knees at the same time, and roll to the left. So I roll all the way to my outer left hip. Both shoulders, both elbows are down. Your experience may be different. Maybe you need something under the outer left legs. Maybe you actually want something under the right shoulder. So you choose. You set it up your way. Begin to settle in. And remember, you can add the gaze to the right if you enjoy that. I don't feel nice when I do that, so I don't do it. You choose your version of every single shape in your practice. You also choose when you're going to skip stuff or do something else entirely. That is the cool, beautiful thing about this practice. 5 more deep breaths. And at the end of your 5th exhale, hug your belly in, bring your knees in, roll to your back. Realign yourself into the center of your mat and set up for your last Shavasana. So I encourage you to lie on your back if that's comfortable, with the knees bent, maybe feet wider than the knees towards each other. Maybe you toss a pillow behind the knees. Whatever you like, that's what I would like you to do. And we'll set ourselves up for some slow, deep breathing. I really enjoy bringing my hands back to my belly and really noticing the shifts in my body that I've experienced throughout the time I've practiced. A lot of times the breath feels different, or the body is warmer or softer or more tired. Maybe we feel tingling or rushes of coolness throughout the body where we've unlocked tension and realigned things. Just notice. Take one last deep breath here. And when you're ready, start to move your body. Maybe wrists, maybe knees, maybe feet. Maybe a gentle turn of your chin over each shoulder. Maybe a nice stretch with your arms long. Whatever you like. When your body feels a little bit more awake, mobile, roll to one side. Nice and slow, don't try to move too quickly. And when you're ready, press your way up to a comfortable sitting position of any kind. We'll all meet here. Stack shoulders over hips. Maybe roll your shoulders up to your ears, back, and softly down. With your next inhale, lengthen your spine, and as you exhale, take your chin to your chest. Bring your hands, palms together at the center of your heart. In closing, with very deep gratitude for ourselves for making this time for self-care. Gratitude for this practice of yoga and for each other. Namaste. Thank you all so much for joining me today for Body Positivity Yoga Live. You can watch this again later at your own pace if you joined us late, or if you just want to watch it again and explore some of the different shapes we were playing with. Please do, that's what it's there for. You will get a YouTube link or a YouTube authorization sent to you a little bit later tonight, which will give you that permission to view this video again and again. Comments will be closed when I stop the stream, so if you have any questions or anything came up for you during the practice, please send it to me by email at lisa@fatyogini.com, or you can message me on Facebook. I'm pretty responsive in both places, so you should get an answer back usually pretty quickly. Our next Body Positivity Yoga Live is not until Tuesday, August 15th, because I am on vacation. We're going to be doing a little bit of travel, just local travel, but I'm really excited to get some vacation time. We haven't done that for a long time. But I hope to see you all in class again very soon, and reach out anytime. Thanks again for joining. Bye!